Hi folks, it's Dr. McCormick here, and I'm going to be walking you through how to set up your Twitter account as well as showing you how to use Tweetdeck. So some of this information is going to be redundant with what you found in the Getting Started on Twitter document as well as the slides, the welcome slides. But for those of you who are totally new to the platform, I thought it would be useful to actually walk you through the step-by-step. So I already have a Twitter account, but I'm going to create a new one here so that you can see the process happen in real time. So I'm going to start with my name here. So you can feel free to use your real name or some variation thereof. If you don't feel comfortable using your real name and you use an alias, you'll just want to let us know, let me and your classmates know what that alias is. And we're going to have a Google Doc where we're all going to put our Twitter handles and our blog URLs, which will be coming next week. And then I'm going to put my email here. Again, I created a new email for this purpose since my other emails are all tied to other accounts. So then I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. Here I am going to uncheck this box. So we will talk a bit about privacy concerns and data tracking and things when we get to some of our explorations of digital culture. But in general, I try to give as little data as possible to social media platforms. So I'm going to uncheck this track my browsing. Okay. So then it's just showing me again, create your account, and I'm going to go ahead and click sign up. So now they're going to be sending me a verification code, and we'll check out my confirmation code. So I'll just go ahead and copy that and click here and click next. So here I'm going to set my password of 6 characters or more. I'm not going to save it. So here's where you'll upload your profile picture. I would like everyone to upload a picture. You don't have to use your real profile, your real photo, but something that represents your personality, I think would be nice. Okay, so we'll click there. This is actually the same picture I used for my regular profile, but we'll just do that for now. And then, so this is where you're going to put your bio. So you can choose to go ahead and skip this for now, or you could put a little placeholder in there because you can always update your bio. But your first assignment for this Friday is actually to craft your bio, really thinking about that APOS, audience purpose, organization, and style. So you can go ahead and put something here. I'm going to say Prof of CCOM 315. Just click next. I do not recommend uploading contacts because that can get a little bit funky. So you're just going to click not now there. Again, also just for the sake of data, not giving them data about me, I'm going to skip this. What are you interested in? And I'm going to click skip these suggestions as well. If your suggestions come up and you like them and you want to go ahead and follow people, you can, but my recommendation is not to. So there we go. I'm also going to not turn on notifications here because we're going to be using Tweetdeck mostly instead of Twitter. So I'm just going to skip that for now. And now my account is set up. So Twitter has started doing this thing that when you sign up for an account, they want to make it just happen sort of as quickly as possible. So based on the information that you put in for your name during the sign up process, they go ahead and generate your display name and your Twitter handle. So just quick distinction between those. Your display name is here. It's the thing that shows up in bold right here, whereas your handle is actually your Twitter username. So typically you don't change your Twitter handle very often because it can create confusion in your Twitter history, whereas people do tend to change their display names actually quite often. But at any rate, what they give you, you can always edit. So to edit your display name, you would go here. So say, for instance, I wanted to change it to Prof. Casey, and save that. But if you want to change your Twitter handle, so you don't like what they gave you, especially if they gave you something that has like a bunch of numbers after it, you definitely don't want to do that. So I'm going to go to my settings and privacy. So I'm going to click on more right here, then settings and privacy, and username right here. So account username. And then here is where you can change it. So if you type something in, say Prof. Casey, it'll say that it's already been taken and it'll give you suggestions. So, try out some different things, but you definitely want something that's relatively easy to remember, something that you can say, if someone's like, hey, what's your Twitter name? You can quickly say, hey, it's Casey Prof, or, Prof Casey. That's pretty funny. I think I might go with that one for now, since I won't really be using this. But just find something that you like, something that maybe, is either really clear in terms of identifying who you are, or in an ideal world, something that reflects your personality a little bit. So it could be fun, it could be funny, but there you go. So that's how you change that username. Again, colloquially, the username is also called the handle. Okay. So I'm going to leave that tab open, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up Tweetdeck as well. So you're going to go to tweetdeck.twitter.com, and Tweetdeck is a Twitter client, so it's a way of managing your Twitter account in what I think is a much more interactive and customizable manner. So this is a little bit of this will give you a little bit of a tutorial of how to use it, but I'm going to just exit that for now because I'm going to show you the basics. So this is what your Tweetdeck looks like, and because you're already logged into Twitter, it should have you logged in immediately without having to enter your password again. So the way that Tweetdeck works is based on these columns, and you can have a large number of columns, and you can customize them, you can add them, remove them, and this is a way to follow hashtags, to follow lists, which I'll show you in a moment. For people who have more than one Twitter account, you can manage multiple accounts through Tweetdeck. So it's really just a great tool. And the other major benefit of this is that rather than twitter.com, which tends to try to customize your experience, give you top tweets, which are algorithmically determined, this is giving you a sort of raw feed of tweets in real time. So I prefer that, but sometimes I will ask you to switch back and forth between twitter.com and Tweetdeck because as we think about the affordances of different platforms, to use Dana Boyd's term, it will be interesting to compare those affordances. So the first thing I'm actually going to do here is expand my left side toolbar. So I'm going to click on these two double arrows here because this makes it a little bit easier to use this, this aspect. So one thing that I'm going to do is first show you how to delete a column. So it's going to default giving you this home column, which is going to be the tweets of anyone that you follow. Notifications, so that's when someone mentions you or likes one of your tweets or retweets you. And then messages are your private messages, your DMs, direct messages. And then this is a trending column. And I don't like to have the trends because, again, I think these are just algorithmically determined and I don't like it. So I'm going to remove them. So to remove a column, you just click on this little toggle bar right here that looks like two lines with two circles, and then remove. So that is gone. So I'm going to switch back over to Twitter right now. because I want to show you how to subscribe to lists. Now, there are links to the 2 lists that you want to subscribe to in the slides for the welcome slides, as well as the Getting Started Google Doc. But since I don't have that in front of me, I'm just going to go directly to my virtual Casey, my main Twitter account, because I know I can find them there. And let's see. I'm going to view lists. Okay. So this is the VIP list. So if you click on the link in the slides to the VIP list, you'll come here and then you're going to click on subscribe. And you're going to do the same thing for the tweets list. Again, linked to in the slides. Click subscribe. All right, now head back over to Tweetdeck. And I think we probably don't need twitter.com anymore, but I'll leave it there just in case. Now I'm going to show you how to add columns. So we're going to add columns for the list that we just subscribed to. So it may take a minute for those to show up. So, okay, first we're actually going to add a column for a hashtag. So you definitely want to be following hashtag CCOM315. So just in this search bar up in the left-hand corner here, I'm going to type CCOM315 and click enter, and it automatically adds a column for that. So you are going to see here that these are tweets from the most recent version of the class. So we'll be adding to this sort of breadth of CCOM 315 tweets. But if you are interested, you could scroll through them and just see a little bit of the type of stuff that we have done there. Okay, I'm going to see if those lists come up now. Still no. Okay, I'm subscribed there. Give it a little refresh. There we go. So if you're not seeing those lists that you subscribe to show up, refresh your Tweetdeck and then go back to add column lists, and then it'll show you here lists that you've created and lists that you've subscribed to. So I'm going to go ahead and add columns for both of those. And right now these lists are empty because I have not populated them yet. But for the tweets list, which is going to be a list of just you, the students of CCOM 315, I will add you to that list the first time that you use the hashtag. The VIP list I'm going to be working on tonight and tomorrow. So this will be populated with tweets from people from accounts of interest. So a lot of writers and journalists, some activists, some people of the McGill community, Montreal, some news sources, various things like that. And we'll also do some activities where you have a chance to suggest people that you'd like to add to that list, just to give you a sense of what it will look like when there are actually people in that list. I'm going to subscribe to, this is the VIP list from the winter version of CCOM 315. And I will refresh that. Add column list. So I'll just do the winter one. So here you can get a little bit better sense of what a column looks like that actually has some content in it. So these are, again, a variety of accounts that I suggested or that previous students suggested, and this is constantly updating. So if we watch for a moment, you'll actually see the tweets kind of popping up in real time. So those are the sort of basic things that you want to, the basic columns that you want to have to start. But you're going to find yourself adding more columns as you go through the semester. So when you find a hashtag that's interesting, when you find an account that's interesting, you may find other lists that are interesting to subscribe to and add. You're going to sort of build out your Tweetdeck to customize the experience that you want to get out of this social media tool. The other thing I will show you is how to move the list. So these toggle bars, the same toggle button that you use to remove, you can also click on these arrows to move the columns over. So for instance, I tend to put my messages kind of over to the right-hand side. I like having my home and notifications here, but you can sort of move them around as you'd like. I also prefer a dark background with light text as opposed to the default here. So I'm going to go to Settings over on the left-hand side and click Settings again. And here you can adjust the theme to dark. Again, I prefer this, but it's up to you. I also sometimes like to have my columns a bit wider, but you can keep them medium or even narrow depending on how your eyesight is, and same thing with font size. So I'm going to go ahead and do large font because my eyesight is not so great. So I'm going to go ahead and click Done there, and now this is what it's looking like as well. So those are the basic sort of setup elements of Tweetdeck, but we'll keep talking about this and the different functionalities and affordances of this platform as we move forward in the semester. So let me know if you have any questions, and happy tweeting.